Hey everybody, how you all doing? I'm back with a very special video today. I apologize. I couldn't film the substitute. My voice was terrible. I was cracking. I was really under the weather. So I apologize, but I am going to review the substitute and the other two movies. I'm going to lump it all together into a triple feature. So as a make-do, I've decided to review one of the Netflix movies I have promised sometime, I believe a few weeks ago. So here is one of them. This is The Pale Blue Eye. This was a murder mystery thriller that was on Netflix. Well, originally, yes, it is on Netflix, but believe it or not, I actually found out that this was actually in theaters for a week or two, which, again, very odd decision to do that. But then they decided to just keep it on Netflix. So, very interesting strategy, by the way, for Netflix over there. So, what are you doing, idiots? But anyway, so let's talk about this movie. Like I said, it's a murder mystery thriller with historical things, because I'm about to dive right into why this movie is called an historic murder mystery thriller. Because it follows a detective by the name of Augustus Lander. So apparently there's a series of grisly murders at West Point in 1830. And of course he was a cadet, none other than a young Edgar Allan Poe. Now, keep in mind the last name Lander, because I'm going to get to that later on in this review. So yeah, somehow he decides to confide in Edgar Allan Poe, who in reality did serve in our country's army. He enlisted, but unfortunately he was honorably discharged. There's a whole story if any Edgar Allan Poe fans out there. Yes, he was joined in 1830. He did have a good campaign, but unfortunately, he was around that time that he joined. He already had published his first work of poetry, and of course he does reference it in the movie. But there's so many different references and very good creative direction. Praise to the cinematographer and praise to the filmmakers for putting little references to some future Edgar Allan Poe works, or in my eyes, not only the works but eventually the movies that would come in the 60s. If you think about that. Now I'm going to get to those in a moment. Again, now back to the character of Lander. So Christian Bale does a fantastic job playing this so-called detective. Now, even though this is just written up just for the story, there was never a detective by the name of that, but the name the last name Lander does become a focal part of one Edgar Allan Poe work, Lander's Cottage, which eventually that actually happens. If you watch the movie, spoilers ahead, he does end up in a cottage. He does live in a cottage in the desolate upstate New York. So yeah, there's so many different references there. I feel like that was a pretty cool, interesting, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to oh shit, you're essentially just showing off how much of Poe's work influenced everything, even to this day. So in a way, I feel like it's kind of meta, if that makes sense. But hey, the rest of the story feels pretty good. The intrigue is there. The suspense just always builds. There's so many moments that had me on edge. There was moments I was really looking at this and I feel like a chill in the air. And I don't know what it is. It's the cast just slipped so finely into these roles. And of course, what I find funny is that the guy who got to play Edgar Allan Poe, I'm about to blow you Potterheads fans off, or any Harry Potter fan. It's Dudley Dursley. Yes, the Harry's asshole cousin. He plays Edgar Allan Poe, and holy shit, he does a great job. It's so weird. It's I remember him being the chubby fat kid in the Sorcerer's Stone. Now look at him. It's he's grown up before our eyes, and he's literally transformed himself and become this eccentric, world famous writer and poet. And you can just see that in every shot, every perfect detail there. It's as soon as I saw him just for the first time on screen, I knew that I was wow, it's almost spot near perfect for a young Edgar Allan Poe at the time. Well, yeah. When I say young, he was again. You don't know this, was that he technically had lied about his age. He wasn't 8. He was actually 22, even though you say he was 18 at the time when he joined West Point. So yeah, that's a bit of history you probably did not know. So yeah, like what interesting way to just weave and create these characters with these great actors that essentially, like, not that, again, like, even though they're British actors, they just somehow were able to pull this off. What the fuck is up with that? But beside that, like, I don't know. There's just something about this movie that just made me I was just waiting on edge just to see what happened. And of course, there's some other good stars in there, even though they play minor roles. Like Robert Duvall is in there, like, but he's completely unrecognizable. He plays a priest named Jean Pepe, or Pepe for short. And it's like, yeah, he's a guy that Lander goes to just to ask him about something. Gillian Anderson is in the movie as well. She plays the wife of this doctor, the medical of the West Point doctor, like who's investigating all the bodies of the victims. It's really cool. But of course, what instantly got me was like all these, and some of these are names that they threw in there, like Randolph Ballinger. I was like, wait a minute. That name rings a bell. I was like, holy shit. I gotta say, tip of the hat. The people who wrote the story did their fucking homework, okay? They wanted to do something with like a murder mystery, give it with a little Poe flair. This is how they did. I feel like they really knocked it out of the park. My only complaint with this movie was the final act, where not really the final act, like the final closing minutes, just before we wrap up this entire thing, we think the case is closed, but then, like, things just get off the rails. We're like, wait, what? I was like, I did not expect this. I'm like, nothing. It just felt like it was half-assed, this last part of the plot, but everything else about it, just the build to throughout the case and the action and of course all the interesting twists and come along. It just leaves you guessing. But this last twist of the story that adds to the character of Lander just had me scratching my head. But overall, it's a fine movie. But if you think if it's anything that's gonna break ground and make you scared, it's not. But I will admit that I feel like this is a murder mystery that we've, like, back to the whole thing that I've talked about some time on this channel ago, is that, again, this is a genre that doesn't get a lot of love these days, and I feel like there's been a resurgence. Now, thanks to Knives Out, which, by side note, I will get to Glass Onion, folks. And here, I feel like this kind of lives up to that kind of same genre. Of course, we need more of that. Of course, I hear there's that new one, Poker Face. That might be something I might want to look into. But yeah, I'm kind of happy that the mystery genre isn't dead. I'm glad that there's something that this is kind of on the comeback and the rebound. And I feel like they're hitting some cliches, but also inventing some new cliches. And with this movie, I feel like it does a damn fine job. My only complaint is the last 20-something minutes of the movie, but I'm not going to nitpick anymore. It's a damn fine Netflix movie. I encourage you guys to like it. If you're a big fan of Edgar Allan Poe, I suggest you like it. If you like Christian Bale, give it a watch. All right, and also like again, it's your preference if you're into this kind of stuff. But again, I don't think it'll be like a masterpiece like Knives Out, because that one I gave high praise. This one I'm gonna give this movie a score. I might give it a solid 7 for now, but maybe over time may it'll get better with age. It's one of those kind of things. It's like I had some good high hopes for it. I really liked what I saw, but in the end, I feel like, but the last part again had me scratching my head. But anyway, besides that, I that's all I have to say. If you want to give this movie a watch, go and give it a watch. It's available on Netflix. All right. That does for the week. I will see you all soon with my review of the substitute movies. Okay. With that, thumbs up the video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting content.